A very, very warm welcome to you, viewers at home. We greet you all wherever where you are, especially you young people. We greet you in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. My name is Ntomfuthi Nkosi, and we welcome you to our wonderful, beautiful show, hashtag TYV, the Youth Voice. But remember, I am not alone. I am with my co-host.
My name is Randani Makoba. Welcome back. It's a Thursday. It's cold, but then we are here to keep you warm with our topic. It's quite hot.
Yes, and viewers at home, our topic today, it is how drugs affected my life. I know many people there at home are interested in this one because we are related to people who are affected by drugs, and others we know, others our friends, others our families. They are affected with this thing called drugs. So today we'll be talking about drugs. We will be learning, understanding, and even equip ourselves about drugs. So, Putrendi, actually, we want to understand, all of us, even the viewers at home, we want to know, we really want to know, because this drug thing is affecting many young people there at home in our community.
Yeah, the scourge of the community, because now it's a war zone.
True.
Crime is also actually a factor of drugs. You understand that people at home, children are stealing, they're selling the TVs.
Household things.
Just to support the drug issue. You understand? So it's just one of those things that are actually happening, and then it's yet swept under the carpet. It's happening. Everybody knows that there's this drug which we call Nyaupe in our community. It's there.
And it's trending.
It's trending. People are talking about it, and yet
people are using it.
Nobody's doing anything about it.
True.
But it's right there. It's one of those things that we must just face head on and say, this has to stop. This has to stop. So it's one of those things happening in our community.
But do we understand? Like, do people understand actually what is drugs? Because one person can say, no, I'm taking sleeping pills, and not knowing that maybe this person is taking sleeping pills, she or he is overtaking them. It's an overdose, and that thing can lead to become an addiction to you.
Dependency as well. You become dependent on it. You understand? Because there are actually households. There are certain classification of drugs which are called inhalants, which are found in the household. They're actually accessible to anyone. Yeah, anyone, even kids, because kids, when they reach their adolescent stage, that's when they're starting to experiment with things, you understand? So now somebody would say, you can actually sniff this, and then it's going to give you something, you understand? And that's why now they were busy inhaling the benzines.
And it's found in your house, like glue. Exactly.
It's quite interesting because there are also markers, where you...
Markers that we use to write down, like markers like that. Yes. So they are classified as drugs.
They are classified as drugs as well.
Wow,
because they have that chemical. When you write, you feel it. That no, this.
So the more you inhale this chemical, the more you get drowsy.
You get the high. They are smoking such things. It's actually an introduction. You become introduced to drugs that way because of household items. You say, no, it's just a spray paint.
Yeah, it's just no harm. It doesn't have any harm.
Like, it's just a spray paint. But then how far is too far?
True.
Yeah, because when you get... It's quite interesting as well, because such inhalants, they give you only a temporary high. You become high for 5 minutes, and then you ask yourself, what can I do to prolong
this
the
feeling,
high? Yeah, because I loved it. I was introduced to it. I love being there. Wherever you go.
So people will try to find a way in which, I just want something that can last me from 5 minutes to maybe an hour or so.
Just to forget. Because maybe the kids are loud. They're very loud.
But what amazes me is that we tend to think, I think even at home, we tend to think that drugs are taken by people who less privileged, But these days, like, almost everyone is taking drugs. Even people who are privileged, people who have houses, people who have money, people who have cars, expensive cars, are taking drugs. Actually, do they have maybe genders or classes or...
I wouldn't say I know. But then when it comes to drugs, it becomes that it's not only affecting our less privileged communities. Well, it's affecting them more because when crime rate goes up, it goes up on those communities. Do you understand? But then there are those drugs which are recreational. The people who are privileged, they call it recreational because you understand that they want to have fun. We're just having fun. Show me, let's do this. Show me, it's just one of those days. Show me, do you understand? Even when it comes to the cigarette. A cigarette, you just start with one cigarette. And it's quite interesting. A cigarette has so many chemicals on it. 49 of those cause cancer. And it's quite known.
It's known because it's even written, like on the box of cigarette, like it does causes cancer, and with this percentage. But people do take it either way. This whole drug thing is confusing, and I believe it's confusing even the community, because I also really want to understand as well what is the difference between addiction and
the
dependency.
Back to that. Yes, back to that. Addiction, dependency. Yeah, because people will say, I'm not addicted. I only take it when I need it.
So that person is classified as part of...
I think it's dependency because you're actually depending on a certain thing to do
something. And
then when you say, I know the mothers at home are going to say, I'm quite controversial. Have you ever heard when the mothers say, you know, nka se robale, ke sa nwa tee.
True, exactly.
Yeah, they say, no, I cannot. My head will spin.
I can't think.
My head will spin. Yeah, my head will spin. I will never. My mother will say, I cannot sleep without eating peanut butter with bread.
So actually, she has to take that. She has
to. So when it comes to that, I look at her and say, you're addicted.
So that's where the addiction part comes.
That's when, because you actually have to say it for yourself.
True.
You actually say it, I cannot do this without.
So immediately when you say it, when you confess it with your mouth that I cannot live without this, that's when a person is actually addicted.
Admitting that no, I cannot.
Can't.
And it's quite interesting. People say they cannot live without something. Like you were not born with this.
Exactly.
It's not part of your DNA. Yeah, this is not part of your DNA. I mean, drugs, they were just introduced to you maybe when you've already lived more than 12 years. And then drugs were introduced in your life. You lived before that without them.
Then now you have the guts to
You're just saying, no,
I can't live without this. Something that you found here, you've been living all your life.
You were just introduced to. And you must know, anything that's not part of your DNA, you can actually let it go. I know at home you're saying, but how? It's easy for me to say. It's quite hard. It's quite hard. But then nothing is impossible.
True.
That's why we do have guests who are going to tell us.
Yes. Viewers at home, we do have guests, and they are coming on a second segment, and they will be telling us their story because they are drug survivors. So hence I'm saying, actually a person can quit because you were not I believe you were not born to take those drugs for you to function in your life. As you said, Butrend, like a person was born not introduced to drugs, maybe until 12 or 15 years. Yes. All of a sudden, because you just got to be introduced, now you say, no, I can uncone.
Yeah, no, I cannot live without. Because also, you understand, there are people who drink coffee excessively.
True.
Well, coffee is also classified there because there are people who drink coffee just to stay awake, saying, I have to do this. And then you become dependent on it. You cannot stay away. There are people who are sleeping 7 o'clock, you find them dozing off. Say, no, if I can just get coffee, then I will function. Do you understand? Such things. You were not born with those things. Those things are not part of your DNA. You can actually function without them. But then you programmed yourself. Because as the men think, so is he. So whatever that you're going to meditate on and say, you actually have to confess it first and say, I cannot live without this.
So immediately when you say it, you just give it power to rule over you and tell you that you cannot live without me.
Your mind is programmed that way. Your mind is programmed to actually agree with you.
Like, I believe it's as you're saying this, it's just the same as washing your teeth every day, like every morning when you wake up, you know that you are programmed. You know that you wake up, you just bath, you wash your teeth every day, and then you get out. I feel it's something of that kind.
And you understand, your mind works in a particular way. Do you know that in your own house you can walk when the lights are off.
Because you know every direction, every step, because it's
The
your
mind
house.
already knows.
Exactly.
It already knows. You can get into the bathroom with your eyes closed. So it means when it comes to drugs, you meditate on them. You're sitting down and then you're asking yourself, what should I do? It's also one of those things, a wandering mind. If you don't find something to do, yeah, you actually find yourself, okay, let me just try this. And it escalates because you start by smoking maybe a cigarette. And then the cigarette is not giving you the amount of high that you need anymore, because now your body, you must remember it's almost like exercise. If you keep on lifting a 10 kilo, your mind is going to get used to it and say, no, this is not heavy anymore.
I need another, like you need to
You
boost.
need to increase. Let me just increase 5.
True.
And then your mind, now you're introducing your mind to something that's new. Your mind is excited.
And it adapts.
You lift. No, man, the 15 is not enough
Anymore. Now I want 20.
We're still talking about drugs. We're still talking about drugs.
Yes, we're still on drug issue.
Yeah, you're smoking a cigarette. You say, no, the high is not the same anymore. Let me just move to Dacha.
True.
Then the Dacha, the high is good. Time. You say, no, man.
Now Dacha is used to you.
Yeah, now
it wants something else.
Yeah, now my body, because I know a guy who's been smoking, as he tells me, he said he's been smoking Dacha for 22, 23 years.
As these people smoke drugs every day or take drugs every day, don't they affect us, guys?
This guy is functional. It's quite weird.
On our health?
This guy is quite functional. That's why when I looked at him, I once asked him and said, no, man, why do you smoke anymore? Because now this thing is not doing anything to you.
Exactly.
Because he smokes. He can even smoke while walking on the street. He just smokes now because recreationally, I don't know. I don't know.
So drugs actually, they affect people in many different ways.
They actually affect you directly and indirectly. Because there are people who are saying, no, I don't take drugs. They don't affect me in any way. But then remember, when somebody has to feed the addiction, the lifestyle, they break into your house.
True.
It's actually affecting you.
You're
actually a bystander, or you're a bystander, you're just an innocent bystander walking on the street. You get your phone swiped. You see somebody stole my phone. You're a victim
of the drug abuse
of
thing.
drug.
Wow, so viewers at home, we are still talking about drugs. So do not stop the talk. Keep the talk going on our Facebook page. We are Rivers of Living Waters. Instagram, Rivers of Living Waters. No, Twitter, Rivers of Living Waters, and Instagram is RLW_ZA. And do leave us your WhatsApp voice notes on 071-038-0640. And keep the talk. We want to hear your comments, we want to hear your suggestions, your questions, or any story that you have that has to do with drugs. You can help somebody out there. Maybe you are a drug abuser, you want help. Or maybe you are a drug survivor. You can help that drug abuser. Like, but Randy, now we're going to have our guest, and I can't wait. Like, I can't wait. Like, from a person or I get about my drug scene and say, mina ngene kanje, and this is how I got out.
From the horse's mouth.
Exactly.
Because we can all speculate and say, this is what happens, this is what happens. You can actually survive. But then we want to know the struggles of actually going through that tunnel. You see the light at the end of the tunnel. How do you survive the darkness?
True.
Because it's quite, if you make something part of you, it's hard actually to remove it.
And it's easy for you to attract something. I just realized that it's easy for you to be attracted to something actually, but it's not easy for you to let go of it. Because it becomes attached to you in a way that you don't even know what's guys.
And you know, it's quite interesting. I was thinking about something when we were speaking earlier. Have you ever noticed before you start smoking, people are offering you smokes? You don't smoke.
True.
No, hi, Shama too.
And you end up saying,
until
okay,
you start smoking. When actually you are a smoker, nobody's offering you anything.
so you need to go out there and find something yourself.
They are gonna tell you, no, afundiswanga yithi kuphela. And they actually introduced you.
But let's just hold it there. Viewers at home, we are going to see you just after the break, so don't move.